Hello, Mike Matthews, physical therapist here with the PT411. Thanks so much for joining me. If you already haven't done so, make sure you like, subscribe, follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you can be notified when I come out with future videos. We've been looking at the neck lately. We've been looking at posture. We've been looking at flexibility and mobility in that neck, how to stretch it out, how to keep it mobile, most common ways to mobilize it to help out with our neck pain or to prevent it in the first place. But if we're not strengthening those muscles, if we're not challenging those muscles into that area we're mobilizing it into that new flexibility we're finding, we're not going to get a lot of functional benefit out of these stretches, out of these mobilizations. With any flexibility that we gain in the body, no matter where on the body that is, we need to retrain those muscles. We need to challenge those muscles within that new mobility so that they can learn to work through that mobility and they can be strong through that mobility too. Now, the first thing that we did when we looked at the neck is the most common position that leads to problems in that neck. And it usually comes down to sitting for long periods of time, whether we're sitting in the car or in the office, sitting in front of the computer at the desk there, or at the computer at home, looking down at our phones all the time, or watching TV, sitting on the couch or the recliner. Our heads are always in a protruded position right here. We're always stuck forward. The lower 5 vertebrae in that neck flex forward, and the upper 2 vertebrae and the base of the skull extend up to produce this protruded position right here. And what we have to do is we have to mobilize it coming back, and we talked about that in great detail. We did that in 2 videos, so make sure you check out these 2 videos right here. But now we need to start strengthening in these directions too. So not only do we need to work on extending the lower neck, we need to work on flexing the upper neck to produce this retracted position or get us into a little bit more of a neutral position here. But not only that, our shoulder position plays a great role in the position of our neck as well. So this video we're going to be looking at strengthening the neck and the shoulders here. We've got to get the shoulders pulled back, because as long as those shoulders are staying forward, we're never going to win the battle of trying to get that neck back. It's always going to be protruded no matter how much we try to bring it back here. So those shoulders need to be pulled back, even slightly elevated here, so that we can hold it back here. So now we have to find a way to resist this movement right here. We're going to start off on the ground. So for our first 2, we're going to be laying on our back. The first one, we're going to be working on that upper cervical, that upper neck flexion here. We're going to be working on our deep neck flexors. So to hit those muscles, looking straight up, all we're going to do here is try to tuck that chin in as we lift our skull up off the ground here. So our chin goes down and in as our head comes up. And so if we zoom in here, we're just barely lifting that head up as we're bringing that chin in. And as we hold it there, we're going to hold for about 5 seconds at a time. We're going to start off at about 10 repetitions, see if we can work our way up to 30 at a time without rest breaks. So exercise number 2 is also going to target those deep neck flexors, but it's also going to get some of those neck extenders working as well. This time, we're just going to push everything straight back into the ground or whatever surface that we're using here. And if it's uncomfortable laying flat without anything behind our head to push back, we can start off by adding a pillow here that we can push into to get a little resistance that way. As that gets easier, we can take the pillow out and just push straight back into a much firmer surface that's a little more neutral with the rest of our back here. So same thing here, pushing back, holding for 5 seconds at a time. We're starting off at 10 repetitions, working our way up to 30 at a time, trying not to take that rest break during those as well. Now for the next exercise, we're going to need to lie facing down, but this time with our head hanging off the edge of the surface. With this exercise, we're going to be doing basically the same thing, retracting that head back. This time we're doing it against gravity. We're going to start off in more of a protruded position here, and then we're going to retract back against that gravity there. But with this one, our arms either need to be laying down at our side or even behind our back a little bit. And as we retract back here, we're just trying to lift our shoulders straight back as well, like we're trying to squeeze those shoulder blades together behind us. And we're doing that all at the same time here. So starting off protruded, we're retracting that head straight back, Bring those shoulders back at the same time. Doing that hold for 5 seconds before you relax off. So same thing here with those 5-second holds. We're starting off at 10 repetitions and we want to work our way up to that 30 repetitions without rest breaks. So we have one more exercise. We're going to get back upright. So for this last one, all we need is a resistance tube. We're going to start off with our elbows tucked in close to us. They're going to stay tucked in close to us. We're going to try to rotate out this way with both shoulders, trying to stretch out that band. But we're not just going to rotate out. The catch here is we got to squeeze these shoulder blades together here behind us, trying to bring them together, and we're trying to elevate those shoulders just slightly as we take it back there. And while we're working on that, we have to make sure that we're not overcompensating and jutting our head forward, protruding that head forward here. A lot of people, to feel like they're getting more out of it than they actually are, will bring that head forward. But those shoulder blades will only go back so far, regardless if our head is back here or more up here. It doesn't affect the positioning of those shoulder blades whenever they're fully retracted back there. So again, we have our resistance band here, elbows tucked in close. We're keeping those tucked in close as we're retracting back, keeping the head nice and upright. Same thing here, we're doing a 5-second hold, starting off at 10 repetitions. We want to work our way up to that 30 repetitions again with this one. Now, if we don't have access to a band, next best thing, get a rag or a dish towel. You're going to do basically the same thing, but now you're not getting any movement here, but you're still, as you're trying to pull out away here, you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. So it's less of a dynamic strengthening exercise and it's more of an isometric as we're getting those shoulder blades strengthened, getting those straps strengthened between those shoulder blades. So pulling apart again here, retracting back, holding, keeping that head nice and upright. Don't let it protrude forward. And it's the same count here as with the band. So we're going to continue to talk about the neck over the next several videos. The easiest way to stay on top of these videos is to head on over to YouTube and subscribe over there. You'll be notified as soon as I come out with these videos. Again, I'm Mike Matthews with the PT411. Thanks for joining me.